Hi all, welcome to the workshop. We now have the unpainted kits of the tree and flux capacitor from ModelModz. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick unboxing on these. So these are what you get from ModelModz in their very fancy boxes. Start with the tree SID for a moment. These are the unpainted kits. So what you get in this is a very well packed part with the electronics as well. We have the connection cable splitter. We have the circuit board itself with all the correct cables already attached. We have the interior part of the SID where the lights will shine through, plus a couple of the other sprue parts on there. We also have a 3M sticker, and we have the main tree SID part. When you purchase anything like this from ModelModz, they send you instructions of how to paint it all up. For the tree mod, the ones that we need are X16, these are Tamiya paints. We need XF1, and we also need TS30. And that is all you require for assembling that kit. I'm going to be doing that very shortly and following this video. Moving on to the flux capacitor. It's very similar. So you get your main circuit board, and you get the housing. Now, in this you have all the parts required. So these are all quality 3D printed parts. I'm just going to tip those out. So we have the acrylic sheet, we have some decals, we have obviously the main box, and there's a 3M sticker for that one. Backing plate, and then we have all of these tiny parts that again all need painting and all come off this sprue. And for doing this, we're going to need a few more colours. So one of the main things we probably need is some type of primer. I've used this for several different things. It works absolutely fine for any thin plastic. I've never had any problems with it, but any plastic grade primer should be absolutely fine. But we've also got X8 yellow, we have X7 red, we have XF85 rubber black, we have X12, that's gold leaf. We also have X11, which is a chrome silver. We also have an AS7 and TS82. Now, you don't get the paint as part of the kit, you will have to buy this separately. But that is the flux capacitor. So, I'm going to be starting on the flux capacitor and tree SID. So just going to be doing some prep work and ready for paint. So for the tree SID, all we need is this part, and there's a couple of little bits on here that we need. So just pulling out those ones. And these will be the clips that sit underneath the tree lights when it's in the car. So we've got those. We also have the main housing. Put the rest of that safely in the box for a minute. And that goes to one side. Because a lot of these will need the same prep, I'm just going to pull these ones out as well and do them in line. So we're going to put the clear acetate and the decals away in there. I'm going to pull out everything else. Just put that sticker away as well. And they can go over there for a minute. So first step on all of this is just grab some sandpaper. We're going to just start sand everything smooth. This is 600 grit sandpaper, and we're just looking to try and remove any lines to try and make the surface smooth. This also just preps the surface for painting as well. You can see, yeah, pretty much got the layer lines that are disappearing now from the print, and we've got a nice smooth surface on the front as well. Now I just need to wash these so I can get the dust, everything off them, and then that'll be ready for primer. I'm going to do the rest of these, sand all these, wash them, and then be ready for paint. When it comes to this part, all I'm going to be doing is cutting off just where it is here and here. This outer ring will be the rubber gasket for the door, and obviously all the bits are the details within. And then I'll be sanding these bits and painting them. I'll keep the small parts on the sprue for as long as possible while painting them, just because it should be a lot easier. So now at this stage, I've got these parts primed, so they're now looking like this, and the sanding has also made them nice and smooth, so you get that rough texture. I've done that with all the parts. I've also started on doing the finer detail parts. So these are the hinges that are painted chrome. These are some of the other detailed parts for the flux capacitor. You can see I've still left them on the sprue. Makes it nice and easy to paint them, and I stick them on the end of the screw just to allow me to pick them up, move them around. It makes it that much easier for painting. And I've also done the little cable clips as well in purple. So far what I've used I've used a bog standard grey primer. I've used the X16 for the little cable clips. We've got the X8 for this section here, the X7 for the other parts on there, and I've used X11 for the hinges and the for the catches and the hinge. Next up, what I'm going to be doing is painting these two items. Those two items will be going rubber black, which is TS82, or I do have X85 as well, so whichever you prefer, spray or paint. I use both, although that is a new can. I probably will spray these ones, or I might spray that one, I might paint that one, just for the different finishes. These items will also go rubber black. And these will be going gold. And for those ones I'll be using X12 gold leaf. So I'm just prepping these bits for paint now. I'm going to spray all of these. For anything little like this, whenever you spray them, they go everywhere. So the technique I always use is use a bit of masking tape, stick it up to the spray booth, or in this case cardboard box. Stops everything moving around, and you can spray them nice and easily. Next up, I'm going to be painting the inner part of the tree with XF1 flat black. I'm not putting lots of paint on because obviously don't want to block up all the holes that are in there. Just going to use a bit of paper towel just to wipe off anything off the face, but it's going to get painted in silver anyway. And that's what that's looking like. So I've just roughly put this together. Now that I've painted these bits just to ensure that the light's coming through nicely, and as you can see it is. What I've done, I painted these little fins completely black, and then I've sanded the front and rear so the light can pass through them, and that gives a nice diffused effect. Okay, so I've started a little bit of assembly on this. You can see I've put the gold parts onto the black backing, and on this bottom one here I've put the what look like little spark plugs. I can do the rest of those now. They're just on this little sprue. I'm just going to push them into the holes. I used my little modeler's drill just to open up the holes a tiny amount. Just make sure they go in properly. And that's what that looks like now. I've got all those 6 in. Next bit will be to take the 3 of these, and they will be going into the holes on these gold bits. And pushed all the way into there. And that's the 3 of them done. So next up, we're going to be putting these very tiny little red rings on the ends of these wires. Right, we now have all these components painted up and this part all assembled. So the next thing we're going to be doing is going to grab the circuit board. We're going to be placing that behind, obviously ensuring that it is the correct way up. Just going to place that in there, give it a little bit of a push, and then I'm going to be placing those through the cables through the hole, and then putting it into the bottom of the flux capacitor box housing, ensuring that it is the correct way up. So the 2 holes there on the top. So just push that down in there. Fairly happy with that fit. Might just add a little dot of glue just behind the pegs just to completely hold it in place. But as you can see, that's pretty solid in there. And once the front's on, it's not going to be accessible. So it's worth just checking now that it is all fitting correctly. So that's now looking like that, all assembled and glued in. I've also painted the tree in silver leaf, and I've also inserted the clear lens, which you can see just sticks through the front of the tree SID. So that one is now ready for the circuit board to go in. And that's going to be going in with the wires to the top. A little bit of a tight fit, and that would be because of the paint, but it does go in. Just that. So that's completely pushed in, and all the front lenses you can see are now coming through the front. I'm not going to worry about gluing that in because that is in pretty solid, with the layer of paint around it as well. It's not going to fall out of there, and I'm going to be putting on this sticker on the back, so that's just going to hold it in place as well, and it's never going to come out. So just taking the sticker, the backing paper off one side of the sticker, and pass the cables through it. And that will stick just on there and hold that together. Just like that. And that is the tree complete. The only detail that I haven't done at the moment, I should say, actually, I haven't stuck the purple lugs on the front of here. They are here ready, but until I'm ready almost to put this in the car, I'm going to leave them off for now, because I can guarantee that me moving this around or something, or trying to put them in the car, they'll get broken off or something. Next up for the flux capacitor, just working on the door. So I've put in the rubber insert. I've also attached the hinge. When I put this in, I did have to sand the edge of the door frame and the edge of the rubber just to get it to fit nicely. So I touched up the black paint from the back on there. So this is now ready for the clear plastic to go in. So all I'm going to do is remove one of the sheets off the front. I'm going to be sticking that in with some glue at the back. Just going to stick them in the corners to hopefully avoid ruining any bit that's going to be visible. So that's now the clear sheet in there. Going to be putting that just on the front there. And that's what that's looking like. Last thing to do is put the catches on. So already put the hinge in place. That's what that is looking like now. Right. So both bits are now assembled. I've just wired them up to the breadboard at the moment to give them a test. So let's see how they look. That is excellent. So I've now finished these off, just adding in the decals onto the flux capacitor. Thank you very much for visiting the workshop today. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can find this mod and many others for many other part works from ModelModz. Shout out to Chloe, who answered any question I had during this build, and nothing was too much trouble for her. So thank you very much, Chloe, for that. This is absolutely brilliant, and if you don't put this in the car, it really is the finishing touch. I haven't put this in the car at the moment. I was going to finish the video by putting this in the car. However, Eaglemoss have sent me some more parts. So as part of doing this, disassembling the car again, I'll be putting the flux capacitor and tree in the car. Hope to see you around again another time. For now, I'll see you around.